Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to the Junglee onboarding webinar. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedules and attending this webinar. So in today's webinar, we would be guiding you through the onboarding process that happens here at Junglee. And we will be taking you through how you can list your product ads, how you can optimize them, as well as manage them in the future. Okay. Now let me quickly take you through an overview of the same. So how it works basically is in the step 1, you would be uploading your product catalog. Right now, this webinar 1 is mainly concentrated on guiding you through this step 1, wherein we help you create your product catalog, and we also help you with the different content guidelines that we have that you have to keep in mind while doing so. Okay. After this is done, you would be uploading all of these on our tool called Seller Central. I'll be taking you through that in the next few seconds. And in the step 2, shoppers see your ads on Junglee. And 3, shoppers click to product pages on your website or contact you. And in the final step, shoppers purchase products from your website. Alright, so the buying clearly does not happen on Junglee.com. We're only redriving traffic to you as any other marketing channel would. Now we also get a lot of FAQs from time to time. Some of the very common ones are, does it cost me to list my ads on Junglee? No, Amazon product ads is completely free of charge. There are no registration fees or monthly minimums at this point of time. Does the buying of my product happen on Junglee? No, the buying does not happen on Junglee. Again, users will be directed to your website from where they can buy as per your normal buying process. Okay. And third, what is the time taken to get our product ad listings on Junglee? Now this can take anywhere between a minimum of 2 to 4 days to a few weeks. This completely depends on the amount of resources you have dedicated to this project as well as your responsiveness. Now, once registration is completed, so our business development managers would have been in touch with you and sent you a link to register on Junglee. Right now, while you registered, you would have come across this tool called as Seller Central. Right now, that is the dashboard you would be using throughout your partnership with Junglee.com. So in this context, let me quickly show you a snapshot of Seller Central. So for your benefit, let me type in the sellercentral.amazon.in URL again. Now please note, this is amazon.in. If you use your email address on amazon.com, you're going to get an error because your IDs are not identified by that particular domain. Okay. So once you do that, you'll have to log in with your email address and password. Okay. Now email address, you would have set it up during the time of registration, but there are chances that you may have forgotten your password. Right now, in case that happens, you just have to click on forgot your password. Okay. And if you're not sure, so if you're not the person who has registered with us, right, if there is someone else in your team who had done it and you don't know who has done it, then please reach out to either your BD manager or your engagement manager. They will be able to tell you which email ID was used to register with us, and then you can use the same and click on forgot your password and reset your password. Alright. So now let's provide the right email address and log in. Yeah. All right. Now there are a few checkpoints we need to make you aware of before beginning the integration project. First and most importantly is the prohibited content and guidelines that we have. Okay, so if you have access to Seller Central, if you're able to log in successfully, please search for prohibited content and go through all the different kinds of guidelines that we have, and they're category specific, so you may want to check if there is anything that applies to your category. Okay, and if you don't find this, just reach out to your engagement managers. They'll be happy to share the links with you. Okay, now prohibited content, for example, for something like medical devices, right, we don't allow anything without that needs prescriptions to be listed on Junglee.com. Okay, so this might include BiPAP machines, nebulizers, syringes, right, or hospital equipment. So all of these will not be allowed to be listed on Junglee due to these guidelines here. Okay, and similarly there are guidelines for a few more sensitive categories, so please do take a look. 2, there must not be a mandatory sign-in page to enter your website. So when you what this means is, when you list your products on Junglee.com, we enable a button that says visit seller site beside your product ad, right? So that's how you get your traffic. Now once a customer clicks on that visit seller site, when they come onto your website, if they see that there is a mandatory sign-in page, okay, that is not allowed. So if a customer is coming into your page and if there's just a pop-up coming up asking them to sign in, or checking with them for location as such, all that is fine, but they should have an option to close that pop-up and browse through normally. Okay, there should not be any mandatory pages that they have to fill in or sign in before entering your website. Now third is final offer price must be inclusive of VAT and all other taxes. So by final offer price, we are talking about the product price at which the customer can buy the product on your website. Okay, so this price must be inclusive of VAT and all other taxes. And fourth, there should not be any minimum order quantity. Okay, so what we mean by this is, let's say on your website you have a very low margin product. Okay, so you have set a minimum order quantity telling if you want to buy this product, you have to buy a minimum of 3 units of it. Okay, now that kind of a restriction is not allowed. Okay, for such products you wouldn't be able to list them on Junglee. Whereas what we do allow, keeping in mind the seller methodology behind coming up with that, is minimum order amount. So you can mention that for you to buy this product, or for you to buy or check out from my website successfully, you will have to have a cart value of a minimum order amount of rupees 300. Okay, now that is allowed, and we would be calling that out explicitly on Junglee for you. Okay, but minimum order quantity is not allowed. If you have any queries regarding this, please reach out to your engagement managers. Okay. And fifth is valid and secure payment gateway, which is HTTPS secured. Okay. Sixth, individual product detail pages. So when a customer clicks into a product page, they should be taken into a individual detail page which has its own exclusive URL or a link. Okay, there shouldn't be any pop-ups coming in the same search listing page with all the product information. Alright, and we also need a buy now or a add to cart button on the product detail page for active SKUs. Alright, and lastly, we would recommend you to check for UPC or EAN availability. Now what we mean by UPC EAN is, UPC is a universal product code, which is a 12-digit code, and EAN is a European article number, which is a 13-digit code. Now these are standard codes that have been assigned to your products and recognized across the world. Okay, now all of you with registered and standard brands would have these UPC codes. We would urge you to go to the manufacturer, the brand or the vendor and check for these UPC and EAN codes. Okay, now why take all this trouble, right? So first of all, providing UPC codes increases the quality of the catalog that you provide us. Okay, two, very importantly, it reduces your processing time by almost 48 hours. So what this means is, as soon as you upload your product on Junglee.com, excluding the amount of time it takes to get uploaded and processed, there is no additional time taken and your listings will be live almost instantly. Okay, now third, sellers who give UPC EANs only have to give us limited mandatory information. Okay, for other sellers who don't give us a UPC EANs, you will have to provide us additional few attributes, which will be a slightly more time consuming procedure to do. Okay, so mainly the takeaway from this bit is that though we are not mandatorily asking you to provide UPC EANs to be able to list on Junglee, providing them is is in your benefit absolutely. And like I said, processing time will reduce by more than 48 hours, right? And that means you've got 2 more days of additional traffic from Junglee.com. So keeping this in mind, I would strongly recommend that you check back with your inventory teams or your IT teams or the brand itself if they can provide you UPC or EAN codes. Now, once we are now that we're done with this, let me take you back to Seller Central. Okay. Now, here this is the Seller Central homepage. This is where we publish any new product changes or product improvements that we have come up with. So every time you log in, I would request you to spend a few seconds here and just check if there's anything new. Alright. Now, you see that there are 3 important tabs here. One is a Products tab, Reports tab, and a Settings tab. So I'll be taking you through each one of them in detail. Now let's quickly begin with creating the product ad. Okay, now the first step in order to create a product ad is to download a template. It is an Excel file and you would have to first of all download that, and here on the Excel file is where you will be providing all of your catalog details. Okay, so please come to products, click on upload product ads. Now once you're here, just under upload option, select upload Amazon product ads tab delimited file. And here you would see a statement, need the product ads template, click here. Okay, so please click on that click here link. You will see a pop-up that opens up. Now you see that this has two columns to it. One is the template and one is the browse tree guide. Right, now what we mainly need is a template. So from here you can choose the different category template that applies to your product type. Okay, if you're not sure which category to pick or which template to pick, just reach out to your engagement managers. Okay, so for my example today, I'm going to pick clothing and accessories, and I'm also clicking on this adjacent link that says apparel, right? And I'll tell you what apparel is all about, but clothing and accessories is the main file. So let me also click on apparel. So I'm downloading both of these now. Now this is going to take some time to download. Let me check if the download is done. Yeah. So here on my screen you are able to see a security warning flash. Right, now if you're using a 2010 version of Excel, you would be able to see the security warning in this manner. If you're using any older versions, the security warning will be much more smaller. Okay, so what we are basically trying to do here is to enable macros. Okay, so this is a Excel macro enabled workbook, and the first step you do as soon as you open the Excel file is enable macros. Okay, so click on enable content. Yeah, there you go. So macros have been enabled. Now how do you check if macros have been enabled is by looking at this new heading here. You wouldn't have it on your normal Excel sheets. This is come in because you have enabled macros on the Junglee product ads template. Okay, so if you're not sure of how to enable macros, please Google it and you'll be able to find a screenshot by screenshot guide. Okay, now that we have this, let me quickly take you through the different tabs that are available, the different reference documents that are available for you here. First of all, the overview tab will basically tell you what exactly is to be done, right, in different stages like we just discussed. Now attribute definitions gives you the meaning, definitions, accepted values, guidelines and examples of how you can enter information into the feed template. Okay, now I would recommend that you take a printout of this and keep that with you. Alright, so whenever you have a query, you can refer back to it and start filling in the feed template. Now this is the main catalog sheet wherein you would be actually giving us your catalog information. Okay, so you can see there are a bunch of columns here, and I'll take you through what each one of them is for. So let's pick a sample product and start filling it up. So this is how traffic gets migrated to your website. Alright, so I'm just taking this as a sample. I would recommend that all of you also try and do this along with me, so that if you have any queries, we will be able to answer that for you. Okay, so please try and create a sample product. Also make notes as I take you through this. So first of all, sorry about that. Yeah, so first of all we'll need a SKU code. Right, now SKU code is nothing but an alphanumeric 40-digit code which you will be applying to each and every product of yours on Junglee. So SKU is the main communication point to our systems. Alright, so choose a good SKU code. Now here I can see that the it says model C0311, right? So I'm just assuming that's a model number, so my SKU code would be ABC123. Now this is also case sensitive. Okay, so make sure that you provide a easy to remember SKU code. So the title of the product would be Fast Track Guys black wallet model. Now this is a perfect title. One, because it carries the brand name, the gender, the color, the product type, as well as the model name, right? So all the terms in the title are by default searchable on Junglee.com. So by making a comprehensive title, you are increasing the searchability of your product. Alright, so that's why it's important for you to completely give completely mention your title and not really give us a smaller version of it saying Fast Track Wallet, right? That I mean, you're missing out on guys, black, and the model number. So make sure you provide us a good title. Now link is nothing but the link to this particular detail page. Okay, and price is the price at which this product is being sold, that is $7.95. Delivery time, you can look at attribute definitions tab, row number 8. You'll be able to see we have options 1, 2, 3 and 4 mapped to a certain delivery time duration, right? So you just have to pick that number option and mention it in the feed template. So this is option number 2. Recommended browse node, I'll come back to this. Category by default is clothing and accessories. Now the drop downs that you see here are appearing because I have enabled macros. Okay, if you don't enable your macros, you wouldn't be able to see these drop downs. And then brand would be Fast Track. Manufacturer would be Fast Track as well. So in a few cases, manufacturer might be different, right? So you can please provide the correct details. And now we can provide the model number here. Okay, now coming to the description of the product. Okay, so please remove all of these special characters or any HTML characters. So shipping cost can be left empty here because we will be setting that on Seller Central. Okay. Now standard product ID and product ID type. So under standard product ID is where you will be providing barcodes if you had a UPC or a EAN for this product. Right. Now this being a Fast Track product, there are chances that this already has a UPC or a EAN. So all you have to do is reach out to the concerned people, either with the manufacturers, the brand, or the inventory or the vendors. Right, or if you stock the products, reach out to your inventory team and check if the barcodes are printed behind the product and if there's any way that you can procure them. Okay, now in my case, I am assuming that this seller does not know the barcode. Okay, so I'm just moving on. Now we need the image URL. So this is the image URL that you have to give us. Okay, so this must be a biggest image that you have. So to enable zoom on Junglee.com, your image size has to be a minimum of 1000 pixels on one side. Okay, on either sides. So make sure that you're trying to give us the a good product image URL. Now that's the image URL. So let's pick it up. Okay, there goes the image URL. Now list price. So we already saw that there was a column called as price, right? Now what is list price? So list price is nothing but the MRP of the product. Okay, so in our case right now, there is no discount being offered on this product. So this is being sold at MRP, right? But let's say the price of the product was actually 1000 rupees and the hour price was 795. Okay, in that case you would say 1000 under list price. So we'll also enable the strike down feature for you. Okay, now availability, this is extremely important. You have to select from the option true or false. True means the product is in stock, false means the product is out of stock. Okay, so we don't need a inventory quantity or stock data, we just need the options true or false. So since this is in stock, I can see that the product is in stock, right? So I'm made it true. Now color name is black, color map is also black. Now you see we have two columns called color name and color map, right? Now color name is a free text column wherein you can describe the color slightly more better. You can probably say dark grayish black or blackish gray, right? Things like that. But color map will enable the color filter for your product. Okay, which is why you have to choose only from the list of valid values that we have. And here we need the material. So genuine leather bifold wallet. So we know that this is a leather product. Okay, so there that goes, and you also have a bunch of other information that you can provide here. If you are providing us apparel, size map is a mandatory data that you have to provide us. Okay, since this is an accessory, it doesn't really need a size map, but if it is any other apparel products that you're providing us, size map is mandatory. And also if you are providing any of these unstitched salwar suits or saris or unstitched ghagra suits, right, all of that can be termed as free size. So you'll just have to say free size here under size map. Though it is not a part of the drop down values, we do accept it, and we're working on getting this included in the drop down. Okay, but as of now it should just be free size. So right now here it's not applicable. Yeah. Now there is again a bunch of other information that you can provide. Target gender, male. Okay, now all of this is done. Now you see there are columns in blue. Right now, the first few columns here that you see are if you have coupon codes available on your website. Okay, now this is nothing but your cashback offer that you may be providing on your website, right? So if you do have those on your website, you can also highlight them on your Junglee listings. Okay, so how this works is you have to first of all give us the discount amount in rupee value. So if you're telling that there is a flat 100 rupees if you use the coupon code Junglee 100. Okay, now that means discount amount will just be 100, and the sale start date would be today's date. Okay, and sale end date would be the date when you want it to end. Okay, now Junglee exclusive offer. So this is if you want only Junglee members to view the coupon code, you would say true. Now by Junglee members I mean only the signed in members, right? And if you select Junglee exclusive false, that means all the users can see the coupon code, and the coupon code is Junglee 100. Okay, so this is how you set up your cashback offers for your Junglee listings. It's pretty simple. Okay, now let's say instead of a flat 100 rupees off, you have a flat 10% off if you use the coupon code Junglee 100. Okay, now how do you provide this here? So all you have to do is calculate 10% of this price. This price that you provided us, calculate 10% of that and provide that under discount amount. Got it? So it's that simple. So based on the price, your discount amounts would also change. Okay. Now accepted payment methods. If you just look into the valid values tab, we have all the drop down values here for your quick reference. So here you see accepted payment methods, right? We have a certain format in which you have to provide us all these information. Okay. So I'm typing it in because I'm aware of it, but I would recommend that you copy it from there. And you can also notice that I'm separating the different payment options using the oblique symbol. Okay, so that's how it goes. And there are so you'll have to pick a payment option only from the valid values that we have provided. For example, you wouldn't find the option check there, right? You cannot give us the check option because we don't support it. Now after that there is shipping weight, length, height, width of the product, all of that. If you have the details, please provide. Now keywords, again these are search terms that you can provide for your product. Now spring summer 2013 or formal wallets, office wear, office accessories, right? So these are all product related search terms. So if you already know what search terms your users might be using to search for your products, please feel free to provide it here. Each keyword has a character limit of 50 characters. Okay, and you can also provide comma separated terms within a cell, but ensure that it is below 50 characters. Okay. Now bullet point 1, 2, 3 is to highlight any of your product feature. Now here we can say genuine leather, bifold. Okay, and has card slots, right? So this is how you highlight if you would like to highlight about the product features. Now we also have other image URL 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this is nothing but the multiple images that you may have on your website. You can go ahead and provide the multiple image URLs here. In this case there are no URLs, but it's the exact same way. You just click on the thumbnail, open link in new tab and provide us that particular URL. Okay, it's that simple. Now once this is done, in the last column, before that you would see a column called as offer note, right? Now this is if you have any freebies that you're giving away with the product, especially if you're an electronic seller, you might be giving away pouches, cases and all of that with your products, right? So you can list that under offer note. And update under here, if you're uploading a product for the very first time, you have to select update. Okay, and we'll tell you about the delete and the partial update features at a later stage in the second webinar. So right now it's only the update feature that you would be using. Okay, now that done, let me call out a few things here. Okay, for a better example, let's take a t-shirt and assume that the t-shirt is coming in SML XL. Okay, now on Junglee.com, when you provide these products, right, it has to be in different rows. So the same information would get copied onto different rows and you would be changing the sizes under the size map here. So here one product would be S, one product would be M, one product would be L, one product would be XL. Except size map, all other details would be same. And of course your SKU needs to change because SKUs are unique for every product, right? So you can't have similar SKUs because the repeated SKU will then get rejected. Okay, so that's how you change your SKUs. Your title is going to be the same, link is the same, price is the same, unless your price changes with sizes, right? So that's how it works. And it's the same format that you have to follow even if you have a different color of the same product, right? So you just have to recreate the product, give us that color image URL, and under color name you would mention the exact specific color. Okay, now this is how you treat multiple variations of a product type. So this can apply to mobile phones wherein there are variations of color as well as memory, right? So you'll have to provide it as two different SKUs on Junglee. Okay, this is a manual method of creating the feed template, right? We also have two more easier methods to create feed template, but there are certain conditions to them. Okay. Now if you're using standard platforms like Magento, Markjack, Zeepo, ROR, OS Commerce, right? So all of these, even Build-A-Bazaar for that matter, so all of this in their admin panel will give you an option to download or extract a product report. Okay, now this product report will give you the entire dump of data that is being shown on the front end of your website. So on my screen currently, you can see a sample product database. So it's giving me the product code, name, color, size, URL, right, and details of the product. So the first step is to match our titles, match our column headings. Okay, so we know that product code can be used as SKU, right? It does look like an SKU. So let me copy the heading SKU and replace the heading product code with SKU. Okay, now product name of course would mean the title of the product, so we can make that change here. Then we have color, so that would be color name. Then we have a size, so that would be size map. Okay, then we have URL, which would be the link. Okay, then we have details, which looks like description. Okay, then we have image. So image is same, but still I'm just updating the titles to exactly match the ones on Junglee. Then we have price. And we have stock status. So we can use that data to understand if the product is in stock or out of stock, right? So we can then select these from these options, true or false. So let's also take that column. Okay, now once this is done, just save it in any location and remember that. Okay, once this is done, just close the file. Then we come in here, go to add-ins, click on import file, browse, open that particular file. As soon as we selected the file, you can see that a bunch of matched pairs is being thrown by the Excel itself. Right now this is being thrown because we just matched all our headings. So if there is even a slight mistake in matching the headings, it wouldn't come in the matched pairs. Right now just click OK. Now based on the size of the file, this is going to take some time, and start importing all your database details into the Junglee Excel file. Now this is very simple if you have your database reports available. So you see, without doing much of manual work, all the details have flown in and they are sitting under their respective headings. So SKU, title, link, price is already here. Right? You will have to fill in information like brand and model number because that didn't come in from your report. Description is here, image is here, MRP wasn't there, so it's not here, availability is here. Now we do know that 0 means the product is not in stock, so you can change it to false, and wherever there is a whole number, you can assume that the product is in stock, right, and change it to true. So this is how, after you import a file, there are slight changes you have to do, but they're only of the formatting nature, right? So it wouldn't really take too much time. So if there are any spelling mistakes, please correct them. Okay. And here we also need material which wasn't in the report, right? So let me add the material here, or whatever that is. You'll have to check your product details and provide the details. And here you can see under size map. So please ensure that this is one of our valid values, whatever comes in here. Okay. And then we have to provide our accepted payment methods, a few more things, and our file is ready to be uploaded on Junglee. Okay. So this is how importing the file helps you. Now once this is done, you have to click on the option validate. So we have fed in all the errors that can happen into this macro. So as soon as you click on validate, it's going to check for all those errors and throw up red highlights if there is that particular error shown anywhere. Okay, so you can see that happening here. So here you see, as soon as you hover over it, you see what's the error all about. It says price is required and must be a number with no more than 10 digits, right? So the error here is we have included rupees. So once you make that correction, you can see that the red highlight has been removed. Okay. Similarly, delivery time is mandatory. Recommended browse node is mandatory, category is mandatory, right? We didn't fill in all this, which is why it's throwing up this error. Now, what is recommended browse node? So basically, what happens is we have a node ID or a category ID for every product type on Junglee.com. Okay, so clothing, women, saris would have a different node ID, and clothing, men, trousers would have a different node ID. Okay, so in order to find this node ID, we will be sharing this particular small tool with you. Okay, all you have to do is just search for the keyword. So in our case, we were looking for wallet, right? So once you search for wallet, you can see that all the details have come in here, and you can see it is clothing, boys, accessories, wallets. Now boys and girls are for kids, right? And men and women are for adults. So we know that it is clothing, men. So just copy this particular node ID and provide it here under recommended browse node. Okay, so or for example, let's take this. This is mug, right? So for this product, let's look for a mug. So you can see there are mugs under garden, kitchen and home, and sports and leisure. Okay, so you can pick the best one. So here I'm just picking this, which is tableware, dishware and serving pieces, mugs. Okay, copy that node ID and provide it here under recommended browse node. Right, it's that simple. So this ensures that your product is sitting under the correct node ID, correct category on Junglee.com. Okay. So once this is done, complete the rest of the details, and you will have to save it in a certain format and upload this file. Now you will have to only do until this stage, until this particular step in this particular phase. The saving bit and the uploading bit will be taken by your engagement managers in a one-to-one manner. Alright. Now what about those products which are probably already available on Junglee.com, right? So for example, let's look up a mobile phone. Okay, now you would like to list Samsung Galaxy S3 Pebble Blue, and we'll be sending you a template which looks like this. Okay, it's called 1x1 Junglee Seller Template. Now this is only for those products which are already available on Junglee. This is not restricted only to mobile phones. This can be any products that is already available on Junglee, like apparel, your sporting goods like treadmill, right? Or you know, if you're listing any nutrition products which are already on Junglee. But mainly this is helpful for electronics as well as gaming, computers, right? So those kind of sellers. Now please provide your delivery time here. SKU has to be provided. And price of the product, let me assume you're selling it at 28,000. Title of the product must be provided. Okay, then you give us the Junglee URL. Okay, so by Junglee URL I mean the product page wherein you found the exact product that you want to list. Okay, now that is provided here. Now link, you'll have to provide the link to your website. So in my case, I'm just copying a link here. Okay. And availability is if the product is true or false, that is if it's in stock or out of stock. Accepted payment methods, you will have to provide all the different kinds of payment options that you have. Okay. So there goes that. And offer note is if you have any freebies that you're giving away with this. Okay, so this is how you have to fill in the information and mail it back to us. Now this is only in cases of products which are already existing on Junglee.com. Okay, if products are not on Junglee, you would still have to follow this same standard format and give us all the details.